Seven races to go, 10 points the gap. It's the 7th inning stretch. It's the 2-minute warning, and it's the final countdown. Welcome along to Austin, Texas for round 18 of 24, the Breakout Racing League Realistic Performance Championship and the United States Grand Prix. We arrive in Austin, Texas for the United States, in a country that is ranked 4th in the world in landmass, but 3rd in the world for population. Well, that includes 13, a huge amount of our drivers here tonight for their home Grand Prix. Well, it means so much to return back home. It'll be so special to watch, and it'll be expectable. We cannot wait. Let's talk about the circuit then. The Circuit of the Americas have 20 corners, 11 to the left and 9 to the right, which makes up the 5.5 kilometer, 3.4 mile distance. The circuit has 2 DRS zones, one in the run into turn 1 and the other into right here, turn 12 with Boss Cookie. Well, that's going to allow for top speeds around 325 kph, and with an average lap speed about 200 kph, and 59% of the circuit taken at full throttle. The circuit's quick indeed. The quick nature of the circuit will allow for some grip necessity needs for these drivers. Well, Pirelli have brought the C4, C3, and the C2 compounds, with the C4 being the red-wooled soft you see on the Mercedes right here at Boss Cookie, the C3 being the yellow-wooled mediums, and the C2 being the white-wooled hards. We may not see much of that here tonight. The inners and wets are also available to the drivers if they do need so. Right now through qualifying 1, it's a little overcast, but is not necessary for the intermediates or wet tires, respectively. Like I said before, the gap is 10 points between Minico and Unsighted Port. But let's take a look at the rest of the championship. Sitting third, Deer Hunter in the Mercedes. Has a little bit closer of a gap, 25 points back from Unsighted Port, who once again is not going to be here tonight. Bailey in fourth. He's kind of closing in, but Taylor Klein behind him. 2 points to gap between him, but Cookie is only 3 points behind the McLaren. Mumu sits seventh, 48 points back to Ron Swanson in eighth. And ninth, you have the Alpine and Ferrari Not with Supply Raptor running up the top 10. Let's take a look at the Constructors' Championship. McLaren leads by 30 points, 34 to be exact, with Red Bull in second. Mercedes sits third, 69 points back from the lead championship car, and the McLaren. AlphaTauri sit fourth with Alpine fifth. Ferrari 32 points back from Alpine in sixth. Aston Martin 72 back from Ferrari in seventh. And Alfa Romeo sit eighth with Haas witnessing in the wing, 5 points adrift, and Williams 6 points rounds out the top 10 in the Constructors' Championship. Now I'm Hank Hatcher, joined alongside by Bois. Now, for a lot of drivers, it's their home Grand Prix, and that is extremely special. And both online racing and in actual racing, how do you think that's going to affect their mindset going into this? Because, I mean, theoretically, you would think it doesn't mean anything. It's just coding. But some, it may actually mean a lot to do something and get a good performance here.
I think you hit the nail on the head on both topics. Some drivers here want to do well. Some drivers here just going to treat it as a normal race. And I think if you're the likes of Minico, if you're the likes of, I know Minico's is not a home race, North America though. But you got Deere, this is a home race for him. But I think more importantly, he wants to focus on the championship. So we'll see who adds added pressure in this, with it being a home race. Home race for both of us as well, here in the booth.
Yes, it is. It's going to be fun to touch on. Boss Cookie, by the way, goes provisional pole, 31.881 for the Mercedes. And, well, there's only 3 times on the board, so that's going to be something to look out for, by the way, is especially Sector 1. With the invalidations, that could be a factor. But you said a little bit earlier, who has the pressure? Who wants to deliver that? Well, so far we can actually have a little conversation with the team principal, Exia. Welcome to the booth, the McLaren team principal.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Indeed. Well, so far you've seen throughout the season, it's been an incredible showing from your drivers, both Unsighted Port and Taylor Klein. Unsighted Port actually leading the Drivers' Championship, McLaren actually leading the Constructors' Championship. Well, going into COTA, obviously Unsighted Port not being here, but Taylor still is, and Tone Lesteth reserving for Unsighted Port. You have a chance. What do you think your possibilities to get a good result here at COTA is?
I feel like it's a good possibility. Sector 1's definitely going to be tricky with a lot of the drivers. I do know Coda is known for the safety cars, so the drivers have been told mostly just head down, stay focused, don't try to make any risky moves. Let's try to bring it home.
Well, we'll see how that plays out tonight, but also the rest of the season. You have a championship technically on the line for both drivers and constructors. What do you think your part in for that? Obviously, with 7 rounds to go, including this one, the time's ticking down. Can they hold on?
Oh, yes, 100%. I have full faith in my team. Taylor was a little bit slow when he first came to the team, but he's starting to show his pace and his proof. Of course, Port has always been a front runner. So I mean, I'm not worried at all. Looking to triple Pete. I've won it the first season, the second season, and this the third season as a team manager. So I'm just looking to expand my rings.
You already have a plethora of that, and ironically, you won it both times with Taylor Clan. The Mercedes first, then the Red Bull. Can you try to get that illustrious list with the McLaren this season?
Yes, I think we can.
Well, that'll be great to see. Interesting indeed. It's been an incredible battle between the McLaren and the Red Bull, so thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure. We'll see how that plays out for your team and the McLaren.
Yes, thank you guys for having me, and good luck to all the drivers.
Good luck indeed.
Well, actually, I was talking Red Bull. Tweaking had a moment in sector, basically, I think the end of sector 1. Lost it and ruined his first attempt at a lap.
So far, though, it's a Mercedes 1-2. Bosco get ahead of Deer Hunter by about 29 milliseconds. Then you have a drop off. Taylor Clan now sits himself into third, 5/10 off of pole position so far, personally, in qualifying 1. Plenty of time, though. We have a lot of drivers on laps. Lawrence Watson is 1, going down into the hairpin of 11.
Looks like Fetto's trying to complete another lap. Validated the first attempt. Or actually, no, starting a lap. As you've noticed, yeah, there's a bunch of traffic.
There is indeed, especially through that final sector. Bosco goes provisional pole even faster than his teammate, now about 3/10 adrift from Deer Hunter in second. Right now, that Mercedes team 69 points off of that championship lead in the Constructors' Championship. That's something they want to kind of close back on. They've had an extremely slow start of the season, and as of late, they have really picked up the pace. They're wanting back on it.
Oh, Manico just got chopped by, I think that was one of the Aston Martins. I believe Manico wasn't on a lap, but still. That was quite tense.
Yes, it is indeed. If you look through the timing tower, you can see SHZ Jack, by the way. Ron Swanson goes up to P4. That is going to be Crispy as well. He's running an alternative account because he had a little bit of an issue at Japan. So we'll see if he can do anything with that account. Supply Raptor goes up to P6. So right now, 9 drivers have set times on the board. Some want to get a little bit better than that. Tweaking has stopped on track to let drivers through, that being the Haas, I believe, of Feta. Yes, it is.
Yeah, yep, it is. Well, for some reason, it said purple sector 1, but I think that's just him doing his lap. I don't think that would be valid.
Let's see, speaking of purple sector 1, Alpha Nisus in the Alpha Tauri. He's had a good showing in the last couple of races. He's now went purple in the first sector for the Alpha Tauri team. What can he do down into turn 11?
Feta went a half a second faster, but he almost looped it and lost it on the final corner on acceleration. Nice recovery by him.
Well, to be fair, they don't count the timing outside the line, so once you get across the line, you can do whatever you want. Just don't crash the car.
No, well, I mean, I thought we left Tokyo in Japan. I mean, no more drifting. We're here in the United States now. Well,
there's Formula Drift in the USA.
Well, right now, currently, in real life Austin, pretty much the whole state of Texas is covered by ice and snow, so there is a little bit of drifting in real life, so I can attest to that.
Rallying. Going through Istanbul corner down into 19 now. You see the Alpha Tauri of Alpha Nisus. What can he do once again? He has had, like I said earlier in this lap, he's had a really good show of the season for the Alpha Tauri in the last couple of races. Can he improve on that? Good up into the top 10 qualifying. Yes, he can. Up to 4th. Provisionally, he is in qualifying 2.
I forgot where he finished the last race, but he got a podium on debut 2 races ago, and I believe he finished 5th, 6th last race. Don't remember because
5th was correct.
To say I can't remember because the only thing I remember is his name not for some reason being scored, which was annoying. Don't know why
it was.
2 weeks in a row, and it's the same driver, which is just unique.
That's what basically Codemaster's saying. We don't want you to play the game. He's continuing on determination. Speaking of, by the way, Mumu, his teammate, goes up to P5, so now for AlphaTauri 4-5, and Mercedes 1-2. We see Toneless Death, the other McLaren. Can he go and match up his teammate Taylor Clan in third? Minico goes provisional pole with a 2/10 improvement of Boskogee, 31.386. Toneless Death around the final corner, subbing in and reserving for unsighted Port McLaren. He can go up to 7th.
This is a big race for Minico when you consider his two biggest rivals are unsighted and Port. And last week we had Minico miss, and Port, I believe, won the race. And now the roles are reversed. Minico has a chance to kind of get back that advantage he had prior to last week. So kind of a big race for Minico. As you said, 7 races left. There's 7 races left, so after this there's only 6.
Ferrari Nut has crashed in the exit of turn 1. He's out of qualifying.
I'm trying to see where's this. I kind of wonder maybe if he lost it on acceleration.
Well, right now, his car is scored in 15th, 2.2 seconds off of pole position. Around a 33.5 is his time in the Alpine, meaning, well, he's going to start right now, as it stands, in 15th, but not going to take any further part into qualifying, too.
Nope. Alpine will have some work to do. Looking at the championship standings as it is, AlphaTauri has done, ever since they've had this new lineup of Mumu and Alphanese. I know Mumu was at Red Bull last week, but they've kind of sort of grabbed 4th place in the championship. I don't see them being able to get anything else out of that going forward, but so far they've had really consistency from both of the drivers.
Consistency they have had, and that's what they're going to use for the next, and need for the next 7 or so rounds. Going through into Istanbul, into 18, now into 19. Crispy in the Alpine. Alpine, like you said a couple seconds ago, they're going to need a little bit of help because, well, Ferrari Nut's going to start 15th. Well, Crispy would love to start in the qualifying 2 position. Hell, even go into the qualifying 3, he gets up to 7th.
Oh, who is SHZ Jack again?
It is Crispy. Or, sorry, Chili.
Chili? Okay.
Yes, just another account. So Luciano, his teammate, though, he's going in the 19. What can the Aston Martin of Luciano do? Currently in 14th. Hasn't set a time. Can he get himself into the top 10? Can he stay where he is? He goes up to 10th. Dead.
Yeah, it's half a second clear of P11 Iran and about 1.6, 1.9 ahead of KP21. Not counting Ferrari Nut's time at the moment. He sits P15. We've had...
Breakout retires in the pit lane, by the way.
Yeah, I think he's safe with that time.
I would agree.
I wouldn't surprise me if we don't see a Mercedes or we might see Toneless out, but I think if you're in the top 5 for sure, Alphanese is out on an outlap, but I'd suspect they're done for this session.
Well, especially because, the tire wear is not so much of an issue here. The drop-off is not a big issue, but the thing is with the issue with the tires is the overheating, kind of like was in Suzuka a week ago, and earlier on, especially Monaco was one that overheating played an issue, as the drivers kind of can't really do multiple qualifying runs on the same set of tire, and then Feta disproves that with 4 laps on his soft tires. By the way, KP21 is going to start his flying lap down to the turn 1. Ferrari, I believe, is coming out of the pit lane, that being Ed Tronha. He's back again.
See if KP can find a little bit more speed as Crispy's retired.
The pit lane.
Well, so far, Ed Tronha's finally out on pit lane, leaving. Or I believe, no, he's not. That is Valkyrie that's leaving.
Taylor Clant to the first sector. At the top of the hill, down we go. Great shot of the McLaren down into turn 11. It's going to be a pretty strong sector, I think, Sector 2 for the McLaren, but it's really going to be, Sector 1 is going to be this undoing. Sector 3 is a technical circuit, I would say, in at itself. So, it could go both ways. McLaren could have a really good sector. Red Bull and Mercedes could also be in the upper hand there.
Yeah, this is a track where outside of the 2 DRS straights, you're pretty busy here. Not much time to relax or kind of sort of just stretch your legs if you like.
Oh! He goes around into the grass.
Who was that? Oh,
That's
it's
before.
Taylor, right?
Yeah, it was before turn 15. So his lap is going to be done.
Here comes Pete.
Kind of just reversing out of the way.
Well, KP21 found a half a second, but still remains P14. And Supply is retired. I don't know if I would
Driver
have.
at risk, by the way, is actually not Ferrari Nut. Because of that gap he has, they need to beat that time. So at the moment, KP sits 15th, Feta 14th, Supply Raptor sits 13th. Then
Yeah.
you have Ferrari Nut. He may not be safe here.
No, he would not be. And looking at the time, I don't know if Chili's going to be able to run a lap. If he is, well, no, he's not. And Bailey has had connecting issues, so I think P18, P19 is going to stay like that. So it's going to come down to Ed Tronha and Valkyrie if who's going to be in Q2 or not.
We'll see. He's going to go through turn 20 now. The final chance he has for the Ferrari. He has enough for another lap, but will he be fueled for enough? We'll have to find out. He goes 14th, knocks KP out of the top 15 into the bottom 5. But will that stand?
Surprising to see the Ferraris a little bit slow, but we know that they've had a little bit of straight line speed issues throughout this season, which has really hampered all the Ferrari powered teams.
KP21, he goes to the pit lane, and that's going to be his qualifying done and dusted right now. It's going to be KP21 out of qualifying in the bottom 5. SHC Jack, or a.k.a. Chili, in the bottom 5 and out of qualifying. Bailey is going to be out of qualifying as well. It's all going to be down to Valkyrie. And the Alfa Romeo, can he get up and get past Ed Tronha's time? The Ferrari, can Ed Tronha improve on his second lap? Is he doing another second lap? We'll have to see for the Ferrari himself in a few moments' time. Going around turn 20 for the Alfa Romeo. Can Valkyrie get up there? He does get past KP21 and marginally off of Ed Tronha, but it's still only P16.
P16, and I think if he wanted to, he could have time to another lap, but I don't think he's going to be able to.
Ed Tronha,
There it is.
he's
Okay.
invalidated, so his lap is done. And there's the checkered flag.
The yellow sectors, I couldn't tell how much time was left. Oh, and Valkyrie is spun. Saves it. But that
Kept it
will
out of the
be...
barriers.
And that will be it.
Yes, it will. In the bottom 5 and out of qualifying 1, Bailey in the Haas, SHC Jack, a.k.a. Chili, and the Aston Martin, KP21 in the Williams, and Valkyrie 420 reserving for DXT Ishigo in the Alfa Romeo. And Freunut crashing out of qualifying 1. He'll start P15. The rest are not done, though. There's still laps going on, tweaking pits from P4. Feta Cheese, I believe, going down into turn 12 this time by Izzy on a flying lap. We'll see his Sector 2 split in about a couple seconds' time. He is about 1.2 seconds down. He is not going to improve on his lap. Ron Swanson going around turn 19 into the pit lane. He'll go. He'll bail out. Luciano, turn 18 now, into 19 in a few seconds' time in the Aston Martin. Is he pushing? Looks like he's still going in the Aston Martin. Will he try to improve? Yes, he will. Go to the line this time. Luciano, round turn 20 he goes. He's P10 at the moment. It's not going to mean anything, but he goes P9.
Interesting enough. Looks like Feta, well, Feta is down, but I guess he's going to go to the line. And
Oh, almost collision in the pit lane. Moo Moo and Boss Cookie.
well, lucky for them, neither of them got a 5 grid place penalty. We saw that last race around, I believe. Didn't, what? Bailey and Supply
Luciano.
have that? Luciano?
That was in the pit lane. I don't think they had a 5 place. I think they just retired for the pit lane. Or, I'm sorry, retired in the pit lane.
Hey, good left there by Feta and the Haas. Talk about home races. Well, this is also a home race for Feta. He actually lives not too far away from Coda, like myself. And driving for Haas, it's a Good lap for them.
Qualifying 1 is done in Red Bull, and Minico topped the timing sheets ahead of 2 Mercedes. Cookie ahead of Deer Hunter and Tweaking in 4th. Taylor Fan rounds out the top 5 in the McLaren ahead of 2 Alpha Tauris, Alpha Nisas and Mumu in 6th and 7th respectively. Crispy sits 8th, Luciano in 9th. Toneless Death rounds out the top 10, and once again, there's your top 10 runners. How will that play out for qualifying 2? Because they're going to have to use that top 10. They have to use the tires to start on. 11th, Ron Swanson. Spy Raptor in 12th, Feta Cheese 13th, Eteronha in 14th. Crashing out of qualifying, 15th is Ferrari Nut. He will start there. Valkyrie in 16th, KP21, SHZ Jack, and Bailey all round out the top 20.
Interesting to see what happens in Q2 here. If people try to do the medium tire start. Which, before we get to Q2, did you read that report that they're going to go away with that possibly for the upcoming year?
Yeah, I'm
not a fan.
We'll see how that goes. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm the same. I mean, I always found it a little intriguing. Kind of a risk versus reward type of deal.
Oh, we have a major issue. Oh, no, we're fine. No, we don't. We have a major issue.
Well, and? What's the issue?
I am apparently in the Alfa Romeo. Like, in the game.
Oh! How did that happen?
That is not good.
Well, how are we going to fix this?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I guess you can leave and come back. Technical difficulties, please stand by.
It won't even do anything, though, because I'm already in the...
Well, looking at it, looks like Dutta will be the first one out. He's got medium strapped. Kind of a split, if I'm honest. Supply's out. He's on mediums. Be interesting if any of these do a banker lap or just do a reconnaissance lap.
Really wide, by the way, that being Feta.
Yeah, I don't think that's not ideal. So far, we have 5 guys on track. Looks like who's the Alfa Romeo? It would be Alfa Venice. All guys, interesting enough, on mediums. Supply will be the first one to come to the line and set a time. We got a McLaren now leaving. Actually, no, we have the other AlphaTauri leaving. That will be Mumu. And then he'll be followed out by, let's see, wait till they get the pit exit here. That would be Taylor Clan, who's also on medium. So, going to guess that these guys are going to do a set on mediums, put a lap together, see how that puts them on the board. If they feel confident, that's the type that they want to start at. You know, if your likes of probably Mercedes or Red Bull, you probably make that work. But as you go down the line here, if you're a team like AlphaTauri, if you're a team, I would throw Alpine in that mix with Crispy as well. You could be at risk if someone like these Ferraris, maybe even the Williams or the Haas runs the soft time for your time to be jumped.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what that was about. A lot of drivers on the medium compounded tire right now. The only drivers not being tweaking. Toneless in the pit lane. Boss Cookie and Deer Hunter all in the pit lane as well. So, do they make it on the mediums?
I think the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes, outside of if they have an issue on their laps, they can probably make it. But like if you go down the order here, AlphaTauri, I don't know. Alpine, I don't know. If you're probably Haas or Williams, if you want to get into Q3, you probably need to come on softs. So, and McLaren, I think, also has the pace where if they wanted to do on mediums and they nail the lap, they could probably do it.
Very true. Eteronha into 12th. He's going to finish this lap in a few seconds' time. I believe the car in front of him being Supply Raptor. I think he'll be the first one across the line.
He will be. And then it will be Feta.
.35.8. That's the lap they're all chasing.
Interesting.
And Etron beat it.
Feta for 36.2.
What a lap from Raptor, by the way.
That is a very good
What's
lap.
up?
Oh, looks like one of that is Crispy's around the bottom of the hill of the S's. That is.
He has no front wing. Into the pit lane he goes.
No, who's that then?
Alphanesis, though. He's going up next, and he goes for original pole by about 2 seconds or so. Good lap.
I apologize. That was Supplied that was spun on the bottom of the hill in Sector 1, not Crispy.
Well, Crispy had a moment himself. He had no front wing.
This game's been out for 6 months, and the team colors, they still annoy me. Don't lie.
Yeah, they're pretty close. Taylor Clan in the McLaren. Around turn 20 he goes. A little bit of traction lost to the line. He goes 27 milliseconds. Separates him, and Mumu's not too far off of him.
Those are really good lap times. Especially on that compound.
Really close between. Everyone is so far on the mediums. 2 set of time.
Except the Brackley bunch. I don't know when they're going to come out here. They might just wait for a lull and then go out and just do their stints. Interesting enough, they're both selected on softs. The only team that is.
Next one to the line, I'm pretty sure it will be, yes, it will be the Aston Martin of Luciano. I believe that's going to be actually Etronha finishing or starting another flying lap for him, the Ferrari.
Purple for Sector 1 for Manico. This medium compound, and, I've worked with drivers that they will make not just one as, oh, there's an AlphaTauri that's spun, or no, I think that's just, is that Mumu just letting out Manico through. They'll do 2 laps potentially on this tire, and there's the second lap that really they'll gain more speed out of it.
You've seen Etronha and Feta do that so far. Alphanesis did 1. Raptor did 1. Both win in the pit lane. I believe Taylor and Mumu, are they going to finish their lap? Not too sure. Ron Swanson going around into 17, now into 18, and a 19 in a few seconds' time. On an out lap, he'll start his flying lap in a few moments' time. Menico is on the same corner, same complex. To the line will he'll go in a few seconds' time. How much faster will he go to the sister car, the AlphaTauri? We'll see in about a couple corners' time. Through into 20 now. The Red Bull, the championship leader. He leads by 10 points. Or can he put that Red Bull in qualifying 2? He goes pole by about a second and a half.
Wow. I don't think he has to do a second lap.
I agree.
And
Thomas goes up to 5th.
Oh, that was good.
Everyone's on the medium.
Yeah, even the Mercedes duo, they came out on mediums. So, right now only 8 have set a time. Be interesting to see kind of sort of, Ron has to set a time, Crispy, kind of which one of these guys then decide to gamble and throw mediums on, softs on.
Well, we have about 7 minutes or so to determine who wants to do that, who's out of the drop zone, who's in the drop zone. Luciano to the line, he goes up to 6th, ahead of Etron, Feta, and Raptor. And that's not too bad of a lap from him.
The top 6, you have 3 Hondas. Right? Yeah.
3 Mercedes.
There's, okay, I was looking, trying to find the other Honda-powered Red Bull, and Tweaking hasn't set a time yet.
I believe he's actually going through into 19. Yes, he is. Now into 20. The Red Bull, his teammate goes for provisional pole. Can he do anything? Can he match him? Can he beat him? Where does Tweaking go in the Honda-powered Red Bull? To the line he goes. He does go second. a second off of his teammate. Ron Swanson in the Ferrari. He's next up to across the line. He'll go up and match his teammate ahead of him by 0.2, up to an 8th. Crispy, the next one is haven't set a time yet. In 14th in the Alpine. Once again on the medium compounded tire for him as well. Everyone is kind of chosen. It's kind of interesting to see everyone on the mediums. He's actually backed off and invalidated for good measure.
Well, that's a good banker tire just to put a lap together, put just a lap on the board, see where it is, and then, yeah, decide, do I want to stick with that or do I want to do a softs? And I think the top 6 are pretty, well, I would say the top 6, give or take. But still got 4 that need to put a lap on, and he's still got the 2 Mercedes.
Okay, across the line he goes. He goes for original pole by 5 milliseconds. What a lap between those two.
It's
close.
It's gonna be fun watching the 2 Mercedes versus Red Bull, and I know it's been Miniko lately, but Tweaking had a good race last week at Japan. And Miniko,
And he most certainly did.
Just quietly, just basically behind the likes of the 2 McLarens and the Mercedes of Deere.
Speaking of Deere, he goes to 3rd. Raptor goes a bit wide at turn 1, though. He's trying to go and improve on his lap time. 12th at the moment, sorry. Right now, the bottom 5, or more specifically 4. At Trondheim 11th, Supply Raptor 12th. Fettuccines in the Haas at 13th. And Crispy, the only one who has yet to set a time, 14th in the Alpine.
And outside of Supply Raptor, the bottom 3 have softs on. Feta and Crispy are out on softs. I would suspect that the Ferrari of Ed Toronto, he's got softs selected. Be interesting to see what is the pace difference between the 2.
Well, so far, you can see this. A little bit of slipstream, I think, actually going to a Mercedes car. That Deer Hunter, or is that? Yeah, it is Deer Hunter. He may be going again. But softs have been selected for Taylor Clan, for Toneless Death, Luciano, both Ferraris of Ron Swanson, Ed Tronha, Feta, and Crispy. All have chosen the C4 soft compounded tire.
I don't know if Deere's going to go out again. I think if he does one more lap, and he's kind of made his bet on the mediums, I don't know how much time is left. Because we have a very slow Red Bull moving. So, William, that's... Oh, well, Supply's not going to finish his lap then.
It would help he was invalidated himself as well. Tweaking. He improved actually a little bit by about 0.4 of a second. Stays where he is though in 4th.
Yeah, he's got the fuel light on. That's why he's moving so slow. See what Feta can do. Going down the hill to the S's. Similar to Japan, he is out to the first sector, about 0.4 quicker. If he could find, 3 more tenths will put him at 34.7 to make him comfortable. He could be where Luciano is. He might have a shot. Might be a little too much to ask, but we'll see.
We'll see. Feta also on a flying lap right behind the Alpine of Crispy as well.
Ron has retired. I wouldn't have done that. Oh, and Feta
He didn't have any more tires.
Feta runs wide. Very interesting.
We'll see. Crispy hasn't set a time. Now he will have a chance to set a time in the Alpine with a soft compounded tire. He goes up to third. That's a really good lap from Crispy in the Alpine.
That's a very good lap.
Vettel's up next. How much time did he lose by going wide?
He lost a lot of time. I think he was just, whatever moment he had there, he just wanted to recharge his batteries and have another go, being the fact that he had the time. So let's see what he does this time around. Very good lap, though, by Crispy, as you mentioned.
Now we'll see. Luciano, I believe, is going to be the next one across the line. So Ron's now out of qualifying. He's in the bottom 5 and cannot take any further part in qualifying.
Well, Vettel runs a lap very similar to the prior lap in Sector 1. Again, about almost 4/10 quicker. Can he keep it together?
We will see. Yellow flag in Sector 2. That is a slow-moving Ferrari. Vettel not going to second up his lap. Purple Sector 2 for Luciano in the Aston Martin. What can he do? Can he get into the top 10? Actually, he already is there. Can he reinforce his position in the top 10? Can he be safe? That may have to call on some of these guys up top. Probably switch tires.
Oh, I think the top 6 are probably safe. Well, we'll see. Where Vettel's gained 7/10. So that will right now put him. I think that put him 11th. He needs to get 34 flat.
Checker flag flies. It's now all or nothing. Mumu's trying it on the medium compounded tire. Vettel on the final corner. Can he get into the top 10? Can he get into Q3? He misses out by about 1/10 of a second. Oh, it's so close for the Haas.
Close, but that was a good lap. I mean, that's a lap you can just kind of say, you know what? Got the most I could out of it. Just wasn't meant to be.
Etrona, he is invalidated. Supply Raptor still could be on a charge. But on the bubble, and at risk, is toneless death in the McLaren. He has invalidated his lap.
So it's all going to come down to Supply, who's had a very horrible sector. Actually, no, he's 7/10 up.
He only needs about 1.1 seconds. Can he get and wrangle his Williams in the qualifying 3? Can he do it? He's done it before this season. Can he do it again here in Coda?
One way or another, we're not going to have a Ferrari-powered engine car in Q3.
And he invalidated at the exit of turn 19. It could have been, what would have been, a 33.9.
Wow.
That would have put him in qualifying 3.
Supply took the somewhat IndyCar line, and it didn't work. Which really annoyed me when I saw that race.
That'll do it for qualifying 3. For qualifying 2. Toneless Death. He survives, hangs on, and will start in the qualifying 3 position and have a chance at the top 10 shootout. One final chance, one final session. Who gets pole? What's your top 10?
Oh, I think it's going to be between Boss and Manico, and probably between those two.
Well, so far, Bosky leads Manico in qualifying 2. About 5 milliseconds, the gap between those two. Crispy in 3rd, Luciano 4th, Deerhunter 5th, Tweaking 6th, Alphanistas, Taylor Clan, Mumu, and Toneless Death round out the top 10. It's a checkerboard pattern from 7th to 10th. Outside of qualifying and just missing out in the bottom 4, Better Cheese, Ron Swanson, Etrona, and Surprise Raptor, who could have been into qualifying 3. But now you see everyone is going to be on the medium compounded tire, except for Crispy and Luciano. They have to start on the softs.
But they both. What a lap by Crispy. Almost was fastest overall in Q2. Looks like Deer Hunter is going to be the first one out. Actually, no, it's going to be the AlphaTauri of Let's see. I believe that was going to be
You have to
Mumu.
ask that question.
Well, the team's
Yes, it
the
is
same.
Mumu.
Well, we got kind of spoiled because, before he went to Haas, it was always Bailey.
Well, to be fair, actually, Bailey has the most proximal garage to the end of the pit lane. So
Yeah.
most of the times, if he can connect to the session, he would be the first one out.
I think everyone but 2 cars have left. Both the Aston Martin of Luciano still in the pits, and so is Tunless.
Look at these two. Mumu behind him, one of the Mercedes, that being Deer Hunter, already kind of jockeying for position. Deer Hunter wants this. He wants clean track. Mumu doesn't want to give it up. Who gets it where? They're racing and qualifying.
Well, first off, you don't want... Oh, these tires won't matter for the race start, but... Don't want to play these games and get caught up and make contact. That will just ruin both of your races.
Deer Hunter hasn't backed off yet. Mumu does let him go.
Yeah, that was a smart decision. If Deere wants it that badly enough, just take it. There's still a big enough gap there between him and the Red Bull.
So Deer now be the first one across the line. He'll be, well, the one that everyone's going to be chasing. He starts his flying lap now.
Yep. Luciano finally leaves. So only Toneless is not out on the track.
9 minutes, 40 seconds left to go. And qualifying 3 for the top 10 shootout. Who gets qualifying? Well, who gets the pole position? That's going to be something that's really important, especially here at Kodak Yellow Flag. Purple Sector 1, though, for Deer Hunter. He's the first one through it. How good is it in relegation to everyone else? Oh! Saved it! Wow!
And he didn't invalidate.
Well, how much time did he lose by doing that is going to be the question, but that was a heck of a save.
His mechanics certainly love that save.
His team principal definitely loves that save.
Because if one snapped the wrong way, it goes straight in the barrier.
Sector 2 timing split. 1019. Mumu behind him. He goes through in the second sector timing split, a 1021. So maybe he didn't lose that much time.
Manico with a 1015.
Okay, he did lose a lot of time.
Well, Manico just
20.
Manico just had a moment as well. So
Don't be alone. Deer Hunter 31-7. Original Paul is the lap they're all going to be chasing. Mumu behind him, turn 20. He goes for the Alpha Tauri. He was in the Red Bull reserving a week ago. He's going to be starting so far for Original P2. Next one across the line, though, is going to be Minico. He goes for Provisional Pole by 0.4 of a second over Deer Hunter in the Mercedes camp. Next is going to be the Alpha Nisus and the Alpha Tauri. He goes ahead of his teammate in third. Behind him is going to be the McLaren, Taylor Clan. He wants to move in the championship. He'll have a good race tonight. He starts so far fifth. Behind him, tweaking in the Red Bull. Where does he go? Provisional P2 by head of Deer Hunter by around 26 milliseconds. Boss Cookie, he now goes around turn 20. Can he go fight for pole? Minico, can he go challenge his teammate? He does get pole position provisionally by about 1/10.5. Crispy's the next one across the line in the Alpine. He's invalidated. And the next one after him, Tone Lesteth's going to start his flying lap. And Luciano's on one.
yep, Luciano now going on the long DRS backstretch. You can land a plane on this backstretch. It is that long. Outside of the run up after El Rouge through what is it? Radion. That
Straight.
the Camel Straight. These two are the longest straights period in Formula One, if I'm not mistaken.
China.
Oh yeah,
And Baku's straight's pretty long as well.
you could land at 747 at China.
Yeah, that same cannot be said for Baku.
No.
Not wide enough.
No, it's not. No.
Luciano, the Aston Martin goes around and stays P8. About a tenth off of Taylor Clan. Toneless Death is going through into turn 12 now. And ahead of him, Crispy's going into turn 13.
Be interesting to see how high up Luciano and Crispy do get in this session because they're the only two that are going to be starting on softs.
That is true. And we are most likely going to have a lobby reset on top of this, by the way.
Luciano crashes. He's not invalidated, but he crashes at the bottom of the hill.
Get back going again. Crispy goes to the line. He goes up to 7th. Gets past Taylor Clan and Luciano, respectively. Toneless Death, his teammate. He'll go up to P7 now. Gets ahead of Taylor Clan as well. So now 7th for Toneless Death, 8th for Crispy, 9th for Taylor, and 10th for Luciano.
Taylor must have had some sort of issue on his lap because he should be ahead of both AlphaTauris. You would think with the pace that the McLaren should have and the form that they've had lately.
We'll see. Was there a mistake for Taylor, or is the AlphaTauri just generally quicker so far than the McLaren?
The AlphaTauri is a quick car.
Definitely. Look how close, by the way, Alpha Nisa's Mumu and Toneless Death are, so maybe they are a little bit equal on pace.
Perhaps you're right. Let's see what Luciano does. He just comes into the pits. Comes in hot.
Everyone else is going to be... Yeah. Everyone else is in the pit lane. They have about 4 minutes and 45 seconds left to go.
With that
now or never.
Well, Deer Hunter is not going to come out and do his second and probably the only attempt he's going to have. So with 4:30. P3 in the championship. He would like to eat into Miniko's gap. More importantly, try to overtake Unsighted Port in the championship. He has that opportunity.
Yes, he does. 35 points only back from Miniko. So if he can get some consistent races going and gain on Miniko, he has 7 rounds, including this one, to go claw back at that championship lead. Hold on. We may just have a Red Bull McLaren fight. We may have a Mercedes creeping in. Deer Hunter isn't too far back.
Nope. He's only 35 out of the points. He's 25 behind Unsighted Port, so he can equal Unsighted Port. Pass him if he gets past his lap in the process.
We'll have to see what the pace of the Mercedes so far can do. His teammate is about 5 to 6 seconds. I'm sorry, tenths quicker. Hopefully not 5 to 6 seconds. That would be unfortunate. He's on pole right now, provisionally. Can Deer Hunter go match cookie on this flying lap? We'll have to see. He's so far the only one out, but I see an Alpine.
I mean, I want Mercedes to get as high as they can, but after what we saw Deer Hunter do last week, and we've seen it also when they've had their wobbles in Q1, they pass cars at will, and it's fun to watch.
It is indeed. Now, will Deer Hunter have to pass anyone, or will he have a clean track going down into turn 1? We'll find out.
Oh, he's got the AlphaTauri ahead of him. That will be Alpha Nice. But the only car he's got to worry about.
Through sector 1. What does he do? Purple by 78 milliseconds. He improves on his time.
This is where he had his issue last go around. Keeps it.
Much better.
Much better. The car gets light there. Experienced that a handful of times yesterday.
Down the main straightaway, he's going to have a little bit of slipstream from, ironically, his teammate Boskaki in front of him. This will be huge for the Mercedes team game.
Yep.
Ejects out of the way.
Good tactics
Sector
there.
2. Much better. 1013. 5/10 improvement. That's what he needs to go and try to attack Cookie for pole.
So far, he's 2
Final
tenths
sector
quicker.
he goes.
He's 2 tenths quicker than Miniko. Let's see what Sector 3 does for him.
Final couple of corners. He may not have another chance. Yellow flag through the first sector. Red Bull letting one through. But what can Deer Hunter do? To the line he goes. He wants to get pole position. He wants to attack and go the championship lead. He beats his teammate by 2 milliseconds. Wow.
So far, both Mercedes ahead of both Red Bulls. And when you look
Hold
at
on. Don't count Mercedes out of this.
No. I mean, they're only 69 points out of the championship for them as well.
Next one, I believe, across the line will be Crispy. Unless Alphanesis is... No, he's not. Okay. Let's move with the other one. So, yeah, it will be Crispy, the next one across the line for a flying lap. Everyone else is on an out lap. 47 seconds left to go in the session.
Got a lot
Mumu
of traffic
got his
ahead
lap
of them.
through. A huge amount of traffic. Both Red Bulls, both McLarens. Crispy is kicking himself here.
Well, he's
But the Red
up
Bulls need to
4
go.
tenths. Oh, he's going to get held
Oh.
up. He is going to get held up massively.
The thing is with the Red Bulls is they need to go.
They do need to go.
McLaren gets out of the way. Crispy was held up a bit. How much will that impact his qualifying? He
He
invalidates at
validates,
turn 19.
crashes.
Oh! Huge hit in a 19 and in a 20. And it will be out of qualifying. But look at this. Taylor, he starts his flying lap. Behind him, you have Luciano. And behind him, you have the Red Bull of Minico and his teammate tweaking. Cookie goes faster by about a tenth and a half.
Well, Deere is done. He will be P2 at the moment. That's best as he can get. As one of the Red Bulls is off the pace. I believe that's tweaking. Yes, it is.
I believe he was held up and got out of the way of Minico. Minico has a clean track, but he's gone wide into the grass a bit. Next one across the line will be a McLaren. I believe it's going to be Toneless Death, and then behind him his teammate Taylor Clan. Yellow flags behind. Tweaking getting out of the way. Minico is going to get some slipstream from Mumu. I believe he's done too. Yes, he is. He gave him slipstream. Down in the turn 12. How much up is Minico in the second sector? He's up by a tenth.
This is going to be so
This could be close. He's leading the championship by only 10 points, but the two he's trying to go and beat for this pole position are not even in the championship fight, technically. Well, I mean, yes, they're not, but not directly, should I say. Minico, through turn 19 he goes. One more corner, invalidates.
Oh.
And his session done. One corner shy. Tweaking is done as well. Taylor goes to fifth. Mumu's done and validated. Toneless Death pits, and Luciano pits. And that's it for qualifying 3.
And I wonder if we're going to hear a little bit more later on with Crispy being held up by, well, both Red Bulls and the McLarens. Mainly the Red Bull. Not showing their former Red Bull family driver any love. That was unfortunate.
Tons and tons of traffic hampered a lot of drivers, and that was just the story of qualifying.
Just wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, now it's going to be qualifying done. The race is next. We're going to have a lobby restart before we go in, but it's not going to change the qualifying order. And what a qualifying 3 it was. Chaotic, like so far, it's been the entire season of the Breakout Racing League Realistic Tier. First time this season, it's been a Mercedes 1-2 in qualifying, I believe. And they're not going to look back. They have the United States Grand Prix next. But now, Boss Cookie leads Deer Hunter 1-2 for Mercedes. About separated by a tenth and a little bit of change. Minico leads his teammate Tweaking in third and fourth. Taylor in fifth. Alphanesis leads his teammate Mumu in sixth and seventh, respectively. Toneless Death in eighth. Crispy crashing out into turn 20. Well, that was a highlight of the session. Luciano rounds out the top 10 and 10th.
Well, we'll have the lobby reset, but everyone in the top 8 will be on mediums. P9, P10 will be softs, and then be interesting to see what everyone behind the top 10 does of free tire choice. And I assume I can leave this, correct?
Correct.
Okay.